Alright, let's start off with the elephant in the room. Yes, this video is a whole week late. I was busy last week now. Please, can someone tell the sniper living across the street to please leave me alone? Alright, my thoughts on Smissmas. Simply put, it kinda sucks. You probably want to stab me right now, don't you? Well, don't stab me yet, because I think Whatville is an alright map. Okay, now you can stab me. Okay, let's get into the meat of this burger. Smissmas is an interesting experience and I definitely had fun, but if you look at the gameplay in the background, you may or may not notice there's more bots in every single game I join. Somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. I don't know where it's gonna be. So this makes Smissmas completely unplayable. But that's not TF2's fault. I don't know whose fault it is. It's not TF2's fault. It's probably the bot's fault. The bot programmer's fault. Ahem. Anyway, Smissmas is overall an interesting experience, and the maps were pretty cool. The new maps definitely caught my attention, and were a pleasant experience, but where are the new game modes? That's a good question. Also, if you can't tell, I am reading off a script. It's only my second time. Don't attack me, please. New Fortress had a lot of cool new things. It had that game mode where you're the giant and then you gotta run all the way across the map and break down the wall, which I think is cool. That was cool. I mean, personally, I wasn't a fan of it, but other people were, and people just wanted it to be a main mode at that point. But that didn't happen, and we didn't see it in Smissmas either, which kind of sucks because it kind of just feels like I don't know. Anyway, without new game modes, there's not much new stuff to really look at. It was kind of bare. It got boring very quickly. Even though the new maps were cool, but it's not much. It's not much to look at. I mean, I don't think that's exactly Valve's fault. I don't think that's exactly anybody's fault. I'm guessing a new game mode isn't easy to program, considering you have to change everything. But I mean, since we have VScript, I'm gonna guess it's just a lot easier to do that now. Not that I'm saying I should expect anything recent, like coming soon, but alright, next thing. No boss fights! Scream Fortress boss fights were so fun, even though they were not perfect. They slow the game down, they make everything just awkward. Even though some maps had Scream Fortress boss fights, that didn't stop the game. But there were no boss fights in Smissmas, which kinda sucks. Because we could've had like a giant snowman boss fight or a Santa fight, or like bring back Marasmus and do like the special delivery carnival games but on sleds or something. It could have been Marasmus in winter. I don't know if there's anything in the lore about that, but it could have happened. I mean, I would have loved to see it happen. It would have kept people around going for so much longer. Speaking of things that keep around for so much longer, no contracts either. There were no Smissmas contracts, and it didn't make the experience. The contracts in Scream Fortress were so fun because you actually had to go from map to map and do things. Even though that made it so that people would always choose the same map over and over, just so they could get their contracts done and then never play that map again. I wish there was some way to make it so that people would still play a lot of these maps, but still have contracts. Because without contracts, there's not really much going on. I mean, you don't get anything for collecting presents, or, there's nothing. Okay, so pretty much the last thing, this was a very short, well, not a very short video, but it's a very sloppy video. Okay, next is, the stuff that they give you at the front. At the start, I thought that was cool. The Secret Saxton. The Secret Saxton was cool. The gift catapult thing, I have no idea because I didn't actually use it because I didn't want to get rid of any of my items. But, the Smissmas Soul Goblin thing, I don't know, it was like you were awarded for giving presents, but I don't know how you're supposed to give more presents when they only give you one present to give. I don't know if you have to spend money in the store or something. I'm not sure. I actually have no idea, so I didn't actually use it. Because I had no idea how it worked. But I also like that they give you gifts at the start of Smissmas. I think that's just a very nice, a very sweet thing. Because I got items that I didn't have. I got a backpack extender, which was great. But the paint that you got was it's not my favorite. The colors are really weird in my opinion, but I mean, I'm pretty sure people actually like the war paint, so it's nothing on them. Other than that, you know, Smissmas is, you know, compared to Scream Fortress is like a seasoned steak, and then Smissmas is just pretty bland, you know. Like there's no seasoning on it. Using food as an analogy, good for me. Anyway, with all of that done, and oh my god, I'm at the 8-minute mark. Jesus Christ. I mean, without editing. Yeah, Smissmas wasn't exactly anything special. It's just kind of TF2 but winter, meaning it's just kind of like TF2 in the summer. You're not collecting beach balls. I don't know. I'm blanking here. Yeah, I wanted to compare to Scream Fortress because it's a 1-month event. Hello. And I just feel like, you know, these events should be some brand new experience because, you know, I feel very hyped up. Help me. I mean, all I'm just saying is I kind of wish there were some new modes or some crazy gimmick that would have made it a lot more interesting. I mean, you know, I know Scream Fortress had maps default standard game mode, but it had contracts and boss fights that made playing them so much more fun, and Smissmas just lacks those things that are just easy with something else to do. I mean, you know, even though I said Scream Fortress, like, I got kind of bored after 2 weeks, but I still had things to do, which still kept me coming back. With that, I guess, you know, this will be the only time I actually prefer Halloween over Christmas. For that, anyway, the script is done. Bye.